Hi, I'm Lissy.
And I'm Scott, and we met on Christian Connection.
I had been on apps on and off, and it just hadn't worked out. And then I'd remembered, actually I'd seen an advert on the Tube for Christian Connection, and it had a real couple on it who had met, and they didn't look like, they looked kind of similar, and I remember thinking, okay, well, if they can meet, then maybe I can meet somebody.
I took a break because nothing was really happening, and then I returned. I think I was on a break when you messaged me, actually.
I messaged him, it was so bold, and I messaged him and said, like, hey, if you want to chat, here's my number. And I'd never been as bold as that. It was so out of character, but I just think I got to the point where I was just like, he looks nice, we're in lockdown, you know, let's just see where it goes. And then promptly forgot about it until he texted me a few days later.
I quite admired that she was just bold.
I liked how detailed the profile was on Christian Connection, so it gave you that sense of you're not going to have anybody on here sort of wasting time.
I think the more you write on your profile, the better an impression you can get, and hopefully if you're just kind of natural with it all, then some of that kind of comes out.
Yeah, but that was the thing that I really liked about your profile, is you'd obviously put a lot of thought and consideration into your words. You'd actually spend some time, and it was well worded, and it just gave me a really good sense of what you were interested in and what you were about and who you were. I think I had a photo of me and Dexter, and I think I even said we're a package deal.
You did,
I think I did.
Yeah.
Dexter is my dog. He's a really big part of my life. So realistically, whoever I met was going to have to want him too. And so there was no point hiding that sort of thing. I just made a joke out of it that we were a package deal.
I think we messaged for about a week, and then decided to meet up. We found this country park and we did a picnic. She made brownies. She knew exactly what she was doing. You know, the way to a man's heart through his stomach, isn't it?
I think we were both really positive after that first date. I knew it was strange. I'd never had that. I had never really known whether the whole love at first sight thing, that had never really crossed my mind. But the only way I can describe it is like finding something in your wardrobe that fits you perfectly, that you had no idea you were looking for, but it's just perfect for you. And then on the way home, I called my sister-in-law and I said, I know it sounds so strange, but I think I just met my husband.
I don't remember it actually, but my mum said that I said to her, yeah, I'm going to marry her. And I think it was just one of those things where it was just
so easy.
Everything was there.
Our second date was 7 hours long. It was 7 hours long with us just walking and talking. We just completely forgot the time. So, which happened more than once, didn't it?
Yeah.
We got locked in a car park once because we forgot the time, and then had to have dinner. Our first ever dinner was in a Tesco car park. Scott got stung on the second date with a nettle, and because I'm a nice, helpful, kind, thoughtful person, grabbed a dock leaf and rubbed it down, and he was there thinking, oh, she just wants to touch my leg.
With nothing but a leaf separating us.
I think that gave the first date was when I thought, yeah, this is the person I'm going to marry. And then I think it was just checking ourselves that we weren't just getting carried away, that it wasn't just feelings.
Because that's not normal, I think. You know, I don't think that's the majority of people's stories. So
it was checking. There's a lot of checking ourselves, and then we talked about stuff in depth, and we chatted a lot about all sorts of different things, like lifestyle and aims and hopes and dreams and family and how we wanted to conduct ourselves in different situations and all sorts of things.
I think equally, all of that stuff just felt very easy to talk about and very natural. So talking about it now, it almost makes it sound like really intense. Like all of the dates were, you know, hard-hitting questions, you know, all of the that kind of stuff. But it was still just very, yeah, it was fun and exciting.
We ended up going ring shopping together, just to try some different things on, and
so we both knew it was going to happen at some point, and so the proposal therefore made it like a lot more tricky for me in terms of surprising you. And I think before that I'd already suggested going to the beach one day, because at that time of year there were lots of seals puffing on the beach, and you had told me about them and I hadn't seen them, so that was my excuse to kind of go there.
I had my head on your chest, and you know, Scott was soothing me, and I had my head on his chest, and I was like, your heart is beating very quickly. And he just, quick as a flash, lied straight out and just said, oh, it's just how much I love you. And I thought, oh, gosh, that's really cheesy.
It is. But I had, you know, when you've got like a 1 or 2 seconds time window to respond with, and I had to say something, and then you lapped it up. Well, it was my job to put it on your finger. I'd said the words, and I'd kind of relaxed, and sort of the relief of having done it had kicked in, and then I forget that I actually had to put it on. So yeah, I'd kind of like overlaid the labels on a champagne bottle with like tasting notes, but they were all about you and your character, and had the date on there, engagement reserved, you know, just
there'd been
like
a lot of thought had gone into it. It was really special. And it was actually the first wedding in Norwich Cathedral post-COVID. So they'd been, I think they'd not had weddings for months. And everybody who was involved in the wedding ceremony, down from the person who married us to the people singing, my friend played the organ, everybody was like intentionally there, weren't they? They all, we knew everybody, and it was really, it was really intimate. So, it was a massive building.
Awesome day. And then so that was in the April, and then the following September we did like a wedding celebration. So we kind of still got the best of both worlds, actually.
It was just nice to hang out. I know it sounds strange, but it kind of felt like what your wedding day should be about, just hanging out with your husband, and your wife. But we'd done a marriage preparation course, which we found really helpful, and then got a baby. You got having a baby that's due in February, so that's obviously big.
I think if you told us back in, beginning of 2020 that all of this was to come in the next sort of 2 years, really, to not even 3 years, then yes, eyebrows would have been raised, I think. But yeah, it's amazing. It was just the timing was right, really, with all of that.
I hope it's been nice for friends of ours to see that. I think singleness and being single it can feel forever. It can feel relentless, and certainly felt that way for us at times, I think. And then all of a sudden things can change very, very quickly, and that was nice.
I think, certainly with your profile, just definitely be as real as you can. I would say, don't spend too much time messaging, just get to meet somebody in the flesh, if you feel comfortable doing that, as soon as possible. Just
handing it over to God was a really important part of it for us, but also, you're right, being authentic. But I would say that every date you go on is good practice. Even if you don't feel anything, you can just enjoy the experience. Don't have too much expectation. Texting Scott for the first time, my expectations was 0. I just thought, I might as well. What's there to lose? And so that helped me then not be so worried about the end results, just to enjoy the process of it.
And know what you want, I think, out of a relationship. I mean, I was, before meeting Lizzie, I was single for 5 years, and I was starting to think, my standards are too high, clearly. Maybe I'm just too much of a, exacting perfectionist. But
I couldn't believe it. I thought there must be something wrong. I was like, how has he not been snapped up? I mean, look at him. But
I think that's just because I was waiting for it to be right. I didn't want to you know, waste time with somebody who wasn't compatible.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you popped up and it all made sense.